All right. Welcome everybody to tacosandgeeks.com. Justin here. Today we're going to be reviewing Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, which is now available for you to watch on Netflix. As always, I give you a brief synopsis of the film, so here we go. Melody, her teenage sister Lila, and their friends Dante and Ruth head to the remote town of Harlow, Texas to start an idealistic new business venture. But their dream soon turns into a waking nightmare when they accidentally disrupt the home of Leatherface, the deranged serial killer whose blood soaked legacy continues to haunt the area's residents, including Sally, the sole survivor of his infamous 1973 massacre, who's hell bent on seeking revenge and who hell bent has very, very, very little character development and is completely wasted in this film. And by the way, this is a spoiler review because the movie's only 80 minutes long. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm before I even begin to tear this movie apart, I want to say this first of all, and I want to go into this review talking a little bit about horror. Horror is subjective, people. Just like comedy, horror is subjective. What might be like in terms of comedy, what might be funny for me is not funny to you. And horror, what might be scary to you might not be scary for me. And for me, when it comes to these slasher films, gore does not make a slasher film. What makes a slasher film great is the atmosphere, is the sense of dread, is well written characters, perspectives, characters that we can connect with, we fear for, we don't want to see killed. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 has none of that. It has the gore, but as terms of characters that are likable, that we can connect with, it has none of it. Where this movie fails is that I do not fear Leatherface. Where this movie fails is that there is no real these characters are so unlikable that you want Leatherface to win. You want Leatherface to kill everybody. And the first introduction you get to these characters is their idealistic ideology, which already goes, okay, looks like we're going to have a Texas Chainsaw Massacre with social commentary on guns, a little bit of a scene where a black guy, where they get stopped by the cops and the black guy who's driving starts tensing up. Yeah, this is what we're getting here, folks. And we get a Leatherface, and we get a returning legacy character in Sally, who literally should not have been in this movie at all because, spoiler alert, she dies, and it's so anticlimactic. It's a mess. It's a mess. So let's get this started here. So, as the synopsis states, we have Lila, Melody, Ruth, and Dante. Ruth, who gets zero characterization. Dante, who gets a little bit, but not enough for you to care about him. The main focus is on the two sisters, Melody and Lila. And the first introduction we get to Melody is Lila is in the store. She's buying some stuff, and Melody comes and takes Lila out the store, where another trucker or a resident of Texas drives up and he's filling his gas, and you see they make sure they pan the shot. They see a gun in his holster, and Melody gets triggered, and she says to the group, "Oh, you must have some real small dick energy to be having your gun out in a holster display like that. Like, how little is your dick?" Or something along those lines. Just basically talking under her breath, chastising the guy. And automatically, I hate this character. One, because she doesn't know the person. Two, you're judging someone by their appearance and not the content of the character, which is something hilariously that these idealistic ideology people seem to forget. So, yeah. So there we have her view on guns in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, by the way, right? So, yes, in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, gun control and gun commentary in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I'm going to keep saying that so it hits you. Anyway, so we're fast forwarding it. So we get to another social commentary scene. So after that scuffle, the guy, the trucker, the guy in his truck, he's not a trucker, but the guy in his truck, he drives in front of him and lets the smoke fumes hit the car, and he drives off. Then a little down the road, they get stopped by the cops. Uh-oh. And Dante, the black guy right there, he's in the driver's seat. Uh-oh. He starts tensing up a little bit. What social commentary do you think we're going to get here, folks? Let's play a game. Is it going to be, oh my God, racism? Because, oh yeah, by the way, the two cops are white. So let's see. What's going to happen? A, the cops are going to be racist cops, and they're going to harass Dante. Is that going to happen? 2, the cops are not going to be as bad as you think they are, and they're just doing a routine check because they know that they have a group of people coming into town. And 3, it's going to be a huge fuckfest of racism and everything else. They're going to beat Dante's ass and everything else. Thankfully, it's B. They basically know these kids are coming, and they just want to make sure things are good. And, of course, but the way it's filmed, you get to feel Dante's discomfort immediately because, he's black, he's in Texas, and he's with 3 white women, and, so you got to feel that tensity. Like, oh, man, he's black. What's going to happen? It's Shall we proceed? Anyway, so those are the 2 social commentaries. That's already in the first 10 social commentaries and allegories. That's already in the first 10, 15 minutes of the film. So as they finally get to the town, they find out that the person who is holding the gun, had the gun that they insulted, is actually the contractor. So not only does this idealistic group get egg on their face, but now they have to make nice to make sure that the guy helps them out and do his job and do what they have to do. So they enter the house, and they happen to stumble around the house, which is the home of Leatherface and a old woman. And this part I'm gonna keep spoiler free. Something happens in the house which pisses off Leatherface, and now he's out for revenge. And it's from here because automatically in the beginning, we have 4 characters that are completely unlikable. Oh, by the way, apparently, for those who want to know how they get into the town, apparently they're like chefs or some really popular influencers that happen to want to build a safe space community for their ideals and everything else like that. So that's why they're here. They're trying to start a safe space community. And I did like the guy with the gun, the contractor, who says, "Oh, so you're a cult." So that, like, it has social commentary, but wisely enough, at least they have a character to be a voice for the other side of things. So it's not a one-sided social commentary. You do look at some of these characters as douchebags and just go, hey, yes, your idealism is your viewpoints are good, but the way you're doing it is you're just judging people by appearance, and you're making assumptions about somebody without knowing the character. Remember, because since everybody likes to say content of character, but no one really judges people by the content of the character. Yeah. Anyway, enough with the social commentary. You want to know how this is as a horror film. It is gory as a horror film. If you're coming in this for your kills, you're gonna get it. You're gonna see all these idealistic people get chopped up in half, hit with hammers. They're gonna bleed. They're gonna die. And Leatherface does his job well. The problem I have with this film is that's the problem. I'm not supposed to cheer for Leatherface. I should not want to have. The only character is her. I did not want to die. Lila is the only character I was like, please make it through this. Because they actually make her a little bit likable because of the backstory. And yes, we do get a reason why Melody hates guns, and it does make sense to the story. The problem with the writing, and this is a problem I have with today's modern movies, is there is no thing called subtlety, subtext. You can get your message across without being preachy. You can get your message across without downing someone who has a different perspective, worldview than you. It's called being a smart, intelligent writer who's able to bring viewpoints and hit you subliminally with it without taking you out of the story to the point that your protagonists and people that you wish, who you're hoping to make it out alive, you don't wish their demise by a crazy chainsaw-wielding maniac. Leatherface is not someone I'm supposed to cheer for. Leatherface is someone I'm supposed to fear. But in this movie, I'm cheering him. Unlike the original 1973 film, I feared that dude. Even the 2003 remake, that dude was scary. This here, I'm like, yo, kill them. Kill them. And Sally, unfortunately, is completely wasted here. In the trailer, they making her look like a Laurie Strode-esque type of character, right? She don't get really much character development. She hears it on the radio. She hears it. She goes there and she tries to save the girls, right? And she dies. They killed Sally off. And there is this one scene where she has Leatherface, and he is literally back in his room. He's chilling. He's done his job. He's killed some of these people who he feels is responsible for something that happens in the film. And he just has one. He only has the two girls left to kill, right? And he is just chilling. Sally's in a room, and she has the shotgun. She can end Leatherface right here and there. But for some god of reason, she wants Leatherface to say her name because she wants Leatherface to remember her and what she experienced and what he did to her friends. And she won't be satisfied killing him unless he remembers. Why? Just get your revenge. Kill him. He's clearly deranged. He clearly mentally is not there. He's wearing other people's faces. And you're expecting this man to know your name and to remember you with his body count. Does that make any sense to anybody? It don't. It really doesn't. So he literally takes his chainsaw and walks past her. He does not want to kill Sally. He probably remembers her and is showing mercy. He has his agenda. He wants to kill the people he feels responsible for an event that happened when they arrived. He's only out for revenge. And that's it. And then he's going to go back to chilling and hibernating and does whatever he does, okay? She shouldn't have been in this movie at all. It was completely pointless. It was wasted. Wasn't real, no character development. There's no real connection to it. You don't feel sorry for her like you do with Laurie. There's nothing really taken, and I think it's because of the runtime. If they added a little bit of 20 minutes or made this a 2-hour film, maybe we could have got characters that we could have had some type of connection with, that we could have had some likable characters that we wouldn't wish their demise. And yes, I'm about to talk about that infamous bus scene that you see in the trailers, because for those who love gore, that is the highlight of the film, which is sad because the highlight of the film shouldn't be the kills. It should be the dread that you felt from the original films. And it should be the dread that the characters feel. Like I said, once again, it goes back to having bad developed characters and unlikable characters. The bus scene that you see where everybody takes out their phones and they say you're about to get canceled is glorious in its kills because you're so happy to see so many stupid idiots die. Like there was at least 15 of you. Some of y'all would have took the L. Some of y'all would have risked your lives. Some of y'all would have died. But you're trying to tell me y'all couldn't think of a smart way like Halloween Kills and just gang up on this chainsaw Willemaniac? Yeah, some of y'all would have got cut up, but it's like 15 of y'all. The people in the front would have died, but y'all trying to tell me y'all couldn't bum rush to tackle this dude, take his chainsaw, and end it like there? Like, really? Instead, y'all all take your phones out and just go, okay. And then you got your commenters saying, yeah, this is probably fake. Because that's the era that we're living in. Okay, so this is running on a little bit too long. I'm approaching 15 minutes here. If you like gore, if you only want to see this movie for the chainsaw kills, this is the movie for you. If you're looking for a horror film, and the key word is horror, like I said, horror is subjective. If you're looking for an actual horror film with atmospheric, sense of dread, characters that you feel for, characters that you fear for, characters that actually have some development, watch something else. This ain't the horror movie for you. Go and watch Halloween 2018, where you actually feel for Laurie Strode. You feel for her trauma. You actually are fearing Michael Myers. You don't want Michael Myers to do what his deeds. Watch Halloween 2018. This movie is a dumpster fire. The acting is good. The acting's fine. I have no problem with the actors. Actors do what they're given with the material given. And the actors, if they were designed to be hated, they did their job. But if they were designed for me to care and feel for them, I didn't get that across because they're so unlikable. They were elitists, they were condescending, they were judgmental, and the only one you feel for is Lila because she was the victim of school shooting, and that's why Melody hates guns, which is understandable. But like I said, the first 10 minutes, she's already getting triggered because she sees a gun. So it's like you're already judging somebody. So it's and Dante was completely wasted. Dante was just there. Dante was a body count. Ruth, you don't even get to know his fiance, his future wife. She's taken out in that heartbeat. So it needed more meat. It needed more time. It needed characters to develop. If you're there to just see the kills, enjoy. But like I said, if you're here to see some horror atmospheric stuff, characters in a film, this ain't the movie for you. I'm pretty sure there's some other stuff on Netflix that have some better character development with horror that you can watch. I'm pretty sure you can watch Hush, something atmospheric like that. And I will say this is not. It really isn't much. And you can kind of blame the fact that these serial killers have become so engraved in American pop culture of horror that we only really see these films now for the kills. I'm still waiting. Like Halloween 2018 did such a great job for me of revitalizing Michael Myers and really continuing that story in a real organic way of Laurie dealing with trauma. They took time to show things like that, like the scene. And I know I'm talking about Halloween, but I know. But that scene when Laurie's in the car and she's breaking down, and John Carpenter's score really sets that tone and they pan to Michael's bus ride. That was brilliant. To me, my favorite scene in that film. Here, you get Sally just looking at a picture of her old friends, and she's just out for revenge, and that's it. There's nothing really to it. She barely has any screen time at that. If this was focused on Sally, yeah, but even and I'll even say even with the new cast and their ideology, it's kind of stereotypical too. At the same time, it's just like, okay, we got these Gen Z or millennials, and they don't know nothing about the world, and they just have this safe space idea, and that's it. And it's for me, it wasn't a good film. If I had to give this some stars, and this is a generous star, I'm giving it 2 stars out of 5 to give my final grade. 2 stars out of 5. I would say skip this. If you're looking for a horror film, if you just want to see some kills and some gore, and you're a big fan of Leatherface, then have at it. But I was expecting, after my trailer reaction, I wasn't expecting much. But I was hoping for something more atmospheric on the lines of the 2003 remake with Jessica Biel, the original. Even the 2003 remake didn't have that much gore. Like I said, gore doesn't make a slasher, and what makes a slasher is the atmosphere, the sense of dread, compelling characters that you root for and cheer for. You're not supposed to cheer. You're not supposed to be cheering Leatherface. He's doing bad things. But that's my review. Did you like it? Did you watch it? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know. If you want to flame me for my takes on horror, by all means, have at it. I'll probably reply back. Or we could just have some meaningful discussions on the state of horror right now, because I don't know, man. This is why I love Asian horror so much, because I'm starting to think I'm seeing why there's so much investment now in Asian horror, because they get it, man. They really keeping that old spirit of the atmospheric and characters alive, man. Maybe I'll do a video of some recommendations of some really great Korean, Japanese, Asian horror. But like I said, I was taking out the first 10 minutes because of the non-subtlety of the social commentary. I get that's who the character is, but it's just like, do I really need this in a Texas Chainsaw movie on products that's supposed to be escapism from today's world? I do not. But it is what it is. Well, this is Justin. I'm going on 20 minutes here rambling about this film. So I'm out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you like what we do here, check out more at tacosgeeks.com. I'm out. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 gets 2 stars out of 5. Very disappointing. I'm out.